mess with the trap, then it's doomsday. Dog out the mud, Bobby Boucher. Play like any given Sunday. Still go to service on Tuesdays. We gotta get to the end zone. They say like we in the end zone. This that new pep rally anthem. Play this when you bout to win though. This is that 2-minute warning. We bout to ball like we Wilson, talking like Russell. We hit the field every morning. Your team is not that important. We got the muscle. Your team is still on the warm-ups. We coming out of the corners, ready to rumble. This for the ones in the crowd. I need y'all to scream this out loud. Now we gotta.
Welcome to Muskego High School. It's the setting for week 1 of the 2026 Wisconsin Prep football season. What a battle we've got. Warriors against Warriors. It's Waunakee taking on Muskego here in a non-conference clash. And hi, everybody. Bob Brainerd along with the Hall of Fame coach, Dan Brunner. Dan, this is two heavyweights right out of the gate going to tangle here in Muskego. And when you've got heavyweights going, you do the tail of the tape because Waunakee's coming off of a terrific season last year, just one step shy of a state championship.
Yeah, ran the table all season long. Only problem they had, they ran into the eventual state champion Arrowhead in the semifinals and lost by 2.
Muskego, similar. They lost early on, ran the table in the Classic 8, and then they couldn't punch their ticket to state, but they were oh so close.
Yeah, they were, as you said, Bob, they stubbed their toe against Neenah, ran that gauntlet of a conference, Classic 8, and then got stubbed again by Bayport in a 3-point loss in the semifinals.
So oh so close, but looking for big things again here in 2026, both Warriors squad. All right, key players on both sides of the football, on both sides of the football field, Dan. Starting with Waunakee, they've got a running back who carried the load a lot last year. He'll carry it even more this season.
Yeah, big-bodied running back, been with that program for 3 years. Eli Drainsvite ran for over 850 yards and 10 touchdowns. And then on defense, they got a stud there at defensive end, number 94, Sam Folan, physical player, but don't let that fool you. He is athletic, too. He's a basketball player.
And Muskego, well, they've always got talent here. On offense and defense, though, they've got a couple dudes, Dan, who've been doing it a long time and doing it very well.
Yeah, both of them are 3-year starters. Both of them are all-conference players. On offense, Joey Shaw, their quarterback, he can sling it, he can run, and he's a field general. And then on defense, they got a Hunter Wohlerish safety, Talon Zarniak, who is also a physical player.
All right, speaking of physicality, let's get physical. Olivia Newton-John said that. For Waunakee, that's one of the keys, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. They want to be physical. They want to plant the flag, which means they want to show they belong with the likes of those Class 8 teams.
And for Muskego, it always starts and stops up front in the trenches, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. They want to sustain their blocks. They want to finish their plays. And then on defense, they want to reset the line of scrimmage and, as always, tackle.
We are excited. This crowd is excited. Both coaches are excited. It's week 1 of the season. We've got the opening kickoff next. Summer's over. Hate to say it, Dan, but summer's over. It is time for football. It is time for Primetime Preps here in Muskego. Tonight's coin toss ceremony brought to you by the U.S. Army. Be all you can be. You see everybody at midfield. Keith Nault, the referee, and the young man there tossing the coin. Muskego won the toss. They deferred, so Waunakee will get the football first. Dan, we mentioned this is a heavyweight fight, but these two coaches, relatively new but not new to their programs, they wouldn't have it any other way when it comes to week one.
No, Bob, it used to be you'd kind of maneuver and pick a non-conference game that may give you an advantage in the playoff point scheme and so forth. No longer. They want iron sharpening iron here.
And you saw when we did the tail of the tape at the beginning, next week is looming. We haven't kicked off week one yet, but week two, another battle for both these teams. Muskego gets Oak Creek, and Waunakee will host the Franklin Sabres from this neck of the woods.
Yeah, who's now in the Classic 8.
We mentioned Keith, along with his crew that are working this heavyweight fight on a beautiful night for football. It rained this morning, but we've got a beautiful football field, a field turf, and it is dry, it is beautiful, and we are set to go. Kickoffs brought to you by Milwaukee Building and Construction Trades Council, building communities and careers. Braden Debb tees it up, will boot the football. Drainsvite is one of the returners, along with Will Dama. Taken at the 5. And ahead of steam and then tripped up at the 29-yard line. That was Andrew Musalam. They call him Moose. The Moose was on the loose there, Dan.
Yeah, and get some great field position to start this first drive.
This offense, Steve Arado is the offensive coordinator. You look at some of the starters on offense for this team that works out of the spread. They're a run-first team, but they can air it out at times, Dan.
Yeah, and they're big, they're physical. Like we mentioned in the open, they got a stud running back and some big dudes up front.
We saw Aaron Trudell, the senior quarterback. He was the backup last season, but he's a great leader. His teammates respond to him. He's very smart with the football in this offense. 1st and 10 from the 29. And who else? Drainsvite gets the carry, and Muskego bodies are there to cover him up after a gain of 1.
Yeah, you can see, and they're fired up right from the get-go on defense from Muskego. Well coached, obviously. Head coach is still their defensive coordinator.
Starters on defense for Muskego. Ryan Lucchese is the head coach, but he's also the DC because that's what he used to be. That's what he hangs his hat on. Trudell rolling, tossing, and it's broken up. Intended for Gavin Selk, who leaked out, but some good last-second fingertip defense.
Yeah, Ashton Moshensky, you'll see on the replay here. I thought he was going to run at first, but what a great play by number 23, Moshensky.
So Trudell trying to hook up. Little spin move in the backfield, but disrupted, brings up 3rd down and long. Drainsvite is the lone back. You see Trudell checking with Steve Arado, the offensive coordinator. Out of the shotgun, 3rd and 9 for Waunakee. Trudell fires. Seltz got it, and then blasted at the 30-yard line is Musalam. Micah Forsyth, Dan, leveled the boom.
Yeah. We'll see on the replay. I mean, looks like he may get a little running room out here, but no way. Just gets stuck by Micah Forsyth and then gets finished off for relatively no gain.
So 4th down. And Waunakee going to go 3 and out here. Ryan Lutz is the punter. He's also the kicker in this Warriors special teams unit. They challenged him in the offseason to be a better punter. He's an excellent kicker. And he upped his game during the summer to be a better booter, and this is what he does. High in the sky, gives the special teams unit a chance to get down there and force no return. How about that? Down it at the 29-yard line. That's where Muskego will start. 1st and 10.
Yeah, pretty much the same starting field position for Muskego as Waunakee had.
Now, in the past, Dan, as you look at some of the offensive starters, Joey Shaw, the 3-year starter at quarterback, you touched on it, Dan. This is a run-first team, but Joey Shaw can throw, and so they'll give him opportunities.
Yeah, great leadership ability. And Coach says he's a kid who just loves football. He'll do whatever it takes.
You want to put a label on this offense for Muskego. It's the wing T with some wrinkles, and the wrinkles belong to Joey Shaw.
Absolutely.
1st and 10 at the 29. Shaw. First man through on a delayed draw. And Heffler gets the carry. He's the junior fullback in this backfield, Dan.
Yeah. And again, he's a stud. He burst on the scene last year, probably the hardest worker on that team.
Starting defense for Waunakee, Justin Acker is the DC. Acker played for former head coach Pat Rice back in the day, and he coached with him the whole way and remains on the staff here along with relatively new head coach Chris Graverson. 2nd down and 7 for Muskego. Shaw. Again, Heffler. This time, nothing doing. Wrapped up for a loss of 2. Blowing it up, 99. That's Chuck Elliott.
Yeah, Chuck Elliott, number 99 off the defensive end. You can see on the replay here, just blew it up in the backfield. Very explosive, long, strong. And guess what? He's a basketball player, too, just like Folan.
Waunakee also boasts having a bunch of lacrosse players on this football squad. State championship lacrosse is Waunakee. 3rd down and 9 now for Muskego. Little spinorama, but it did not fool that defensive line up front by Waunakee. Carry there by Aiden Perlberg, but Waunakee, Dan, wasn't having it.
No, and you see Jackson Strobel, number 11, he was in on the action as well.
Strobel, also a baseball player, Waunakee. He's the juice and the energy of this defense. So now you're looking at 4th and 6, and Muskego's going to punt the football, so they'll go 3 and out as well. You see the quarterback is also the punter.
Yep.
Shaw, double duty. Ducharme and Strobel are deep. This is Ducharme on the run at the 28-yard line. Little burst past the 40-yard line. Good field position for Waunakee on their 2nd possession of the football game here, scoreless in the 1st.
You know, you alluded to this being like a heavyweight fight, and again, they're trading punches right now, and it's just like, okay, now Waunakee got the little bit of edge in field position, so we'll see how Muskego responds.
First downs tonight are brought to you by Carthage College. Your turn to make waves. From the 41 of Waunakee, 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Trudell, shotgun. In motion is Musalam. Drainsvite trying to get the edge, can't get it, Dan.
Yeah.
Lost his helmet. Did Logan Salas.
Yeah, Logan Salas. Again, you know, one of the keys, they want to change the line of scrimmage. Well, they did there. You'll see on the replay, nothing doing up front. Logan Salas in the backfield to drop him for a 1-yard loss.
They said Logan changed his body in the offseason. Looked like it paid off. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11 at the 40. Trudell reels it back in. He gets hit. Ball's in the air, and it's intercepted. Lane duck after the hit, and coming down with it, C.J. Reitz for Muskego.
Man, C.J. Reitz broke his patella last year, was dying to get back in the action. Well, he did here. First pickoff of the year.
You saw Trudell, Dan, get hit in the backfield and had to get rid of it, and that fluctuated the pass, and Reitz was able to get the INT.
Yeah. First big break of the game here.
First turnover of the game. Sets up Muskego at the 43-yard line of Waunakee. All the changes as per usual here at Muskego, bunched in tight. Shaw under center. Gonna throw here. The lefty airs it out. Had a man but missed it. Incomplete. Intended downfield for Josh Formolo.
Yeah, you'll see if we have the replay here. Formolo had a step on him. Good pressure by Waunakee prevented that completion.
And that's something that in past years with the wing T, Dan, you could count on one hand the times that they would throw the football. But because Shaw is so good and he disguises it well, they will pick and choose their spots to air it out. 2nd and 10 from the 43. Quick give. And then corralled at the line of scrimmage. Sawyer Ellis was there first. 2-year starter. He's undersized, Dan, but his coach calls him a technician.
Yeah, and he's a wrestler, Bob. And, you know, a lot of times those wrestlers play in that interior defensive line, and they're so technical, as you said, in the sport of wrestling, it carries over well to football.
You know, they said Ellis is like a fighter in a phone booth type of guy. You saw it right there on display. 3rd down and 10 from Muskego. Shaw barking out the signals. On the give. And again, Waunakee not fooled. Squirming for a few extra yardage was Heffler, but not enough for the first down. It's going to be 4th and long at 39. They need the 33. And it looks like the special teams unit will boot the football once again. So we touched on it, Dan, in the very beginning. Trenches, both sides, the key in this football game.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're both up to the task right now.
Shaw again back to punt. Ducharme is deep. Weston standing at his own 10-yard line. Good snap. And Shaw got a good spin. Down at the 8-yard line. Early feeling out process here in Muskego between the Warriors and the Warriors. Easy for us to keep things straight. No score between Waunakee and Muskego.
Stay connected to Gruber offices Primetime Preps football presented by Marquette University all season long on my24milwaukee.com. For the first time in 3 decades, My24 has full season courtside access to Milwaukee Bucks
For the first time in 3 decades, My24 has your full season courtside access to Milwaukee Bucks basketball. The next great era of Bucks basketball begins with preseason action on October 5th on My Place for Sports, My24. The Bucks. Told you summer's over, Dan.
Yeah, no Giannis.
Football, basketball, it's coming. Here's Waunakee with the football. 1st and 10 from the 8-yard line. Little directional zigzag, but not having it. Jaden Adams there to take down Drainsvite. Eli Drainsvite ran for nearly 900 yards last year. He had 10 touchdowns. 3-year varsity guy. And again, he's going to carry the mail a lot in 2026 for Waunakee.
Yeah, he's their premier running back.
No gain on that play because of the Adams tackle. So it's 2nd down and 10. Quick toss to the big tight end on the edge. Catch and carry, but not much after on the carry is Carter Hill. Carter Hill is actually the wide receiver in this package. They've got some good tight ends in Gavin Selk, who's a big target at 6'4".
Yeah, and Jackson Kidd, 6'6". Carter Hill, no slouch at 6'5". Big targets.
And Dan, they also have Mac Johnson, who's 6'6", 215 at tight end. He's injured, not playing tonight. But a potential Division I prospect is Johnson. So some big TEs on this roster for Waunakee. They're looking at 3rd down and 6 here. Trudell. Incomplete.
Yeah.
Intended there, Dan, for Carter Hill, brings a 4th down.
Yeah, and probably a good thing it was incomplete because there was a Muskego player lurking in the flats that would have turned that into a pick 6.
Probably why Trudell just ground that football. Don't take a chance. All right, Waunakee's got a punt now. Lutz is back. Again, doesn't get a ton of yards, but you saw in his first punt, he gets it high in the sky. Standing at his own goal line. Fair catch called for. Right at midfield. And that's where Muskego will set up shop for the 3rd time here in the first quarter, in a scoreless first quarter.
Yeah, these guys are feeling each other out pretty well. One thing I noticed in that...
Send it down to our 3rd member of our broadcast team, John Pearson, JP.
Speaking of great futures, if you get into the trades and representing the trades is Andy Jorgensen from the Bricklayers. Obviously, we know why you're out here because you do support this, but also talk a little bit about the need for these kids to understand the deals that can come with being.
We've got some technical difficulties. We'll straighten things out. It's week one for us as well. And some difficulties on the pre-snap here for Muskego. Our first penalty with Keith Nault to sort it out. So it actually goes against Waunakee, who jumped the gun at the line of scrimmage. So 1st and 5 now from Muskego at the 45. Shaw checking down. Little motion action there. Heffler's got the carry. Oh, man. Chuck Elliott again, Dan.
Yeah, Chuck Elliott off that edge. Again, long and lean, long and strong. Muskego's O-line is having their hands full of him. You see him coming down there. You're not able to block him right now.
Reminiscent of a 99 that played in the area in Pewaukee is Chuck Elliott.
Yeah.
Looked like JJ coming off the edge. No gain in the play there, so it's 2nd down and 5. Ball remains at the 45.
What do we have here? See, now they're adjusting. So now they adjust out. So we still got what? No, he's in the A-gap, B-gap.
Heffler again dotting the I. But you see the motion, and here goes Shaw rolling. Looking to throw, hot pursuit. Got his man just shy of the first down. Looks like the catch was made. And it was for Molo, who he couldn't connect with earlier, Dan. Connects this time to bring up 3rd and 1.
Yeah, for Molo, did a nice job. But again, Waunakee right there, drop them short. Just under a yard short of the first down.
Thought maybe Formolo didn't come up with it cleanly, but the officials ruled a catch, and it's 3rd and 1. Heffler. He'll get it. Got 3, needed 1. 1st and 10 at the 38. And Heffler may have paid the price getting that first down. Slow to get up. And first down's brought to you by Carthage College. Your turn to make waves. Muskego trying to make some forward progress here, get closer to the end zone. Breakless, scoreless duo. It's Heffler again with a head of steam and a bounce. Heffler 30. 25, first down, brought down to 24. $14-yard run, Dan.
Yeah, and those guys up front getting a hat on a hat. And Heffler pops it to the outside, and we can't see it right here, but Formolo, number 20 downfield, was blocking the D-back all the way almost into the end zone.
Muskego on the move at the 24 of Waunakee. Aha! Little trickery. To the end zone. Touchdown! Jackson Schultz.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Bob, you talk about a player with a great upside. He's only a sophomore. And you can see he gets out in the open field here, and guess what? Those guards are still the key to that Muskego offense. James McGuire, honorable mention all-conference player number 66 out in front, making the key block.
We have a marker down back at the 20-yard line. Oh, no is right. What say you, Keith? No? Yeah, let's see if we can pick up the hole. Maybe it helped spring Jackson Schultz.
Let's keep an eye on 66. Oh, yeah. Anytime you see the jersey tug, that's getting called.
That's James McGuire, the guilty party.
Yeah.
And one of those, Dan, where you say didn't
need to.
So take the 6 off the board. Back to the 30. Making it 1st and 16 for Muskego. We stay scoreless. Somebody moved. And Muskego may get 5 of this back. That may be the experience, Dan, of Joey Shaw and that cadence.
You know, the other thing, Bob, you'll notice Joey Shaw, and I've seen it the whole first quarter here. He does so many checks at the line of scrimmage, and it shows the confidence the coaching staff has in him. They allow him to change the play.
So now Muskego looking at first down and 11. Ball's at the 25. See Braden Dibb join the party up close and personal along the line of scrimmage. And more movement.
I think they got Harlan O'Quinn.
So Muskego taketh the 5 yards and then giveth right back.
Yeah.
This is the week one on display right here.
Yeah.
Got to shake the cobwebs out. So back to the 30. And back to 1st and 16 again. Heffler. Boy, he's starting to get ahead of steam, Dan.
Yeah, he is.
What an interesting young man is number 3. He's a baseball player as well. He played in a baseball tournament in Georgia. His parents drove him 20 hours to get him back to workouts with his teammates here in Muskego.
Yeah, that's the way he is. He's not going to miss a workout with his teammates.
Dedication, no matter the sport. Coming down to a minute to go in the first period. 2nd down and 10 now. Muskego at the 24. Schultz, there's Jackson in motion. And maybe a delay of game now, Dan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's... You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot down here.
Take 5, give 5 back, take 5.
Yeah.
Back and forth we go. Back to the 29-yard line. Back to 2nd and 15. It was a clean start to the football game, and all of a sudden everybody's got the yips to close out the first quarter. Schultz again lined up on the wing. Number 29 there. Fake it to him. Shaw going for 6. Got him! Touchdown Muskego! Aiden Perlberg holds it in.
Yeah, and take a look at the poise, the protection up front. Great faking by Joey Shaw right here. Gets himself set, and you can see the arm strength. And he puts enough air under it so he doesn't make it a tough catch for his receiver. Aiden Perlberg.
Aiden had 1 touchdown catch a year ago. He matches it here in the first quarter of 2026. Caden Stuckert bangs through the PAT. And our first points of 2026, Dan, belong to the Muskego Warriors. They lead it 7-0 here with 19 ticks remaining.
Yeah, we'll see how Waunakee responds. It's a big test for them coming up.
And it was chunky. It was start and stop with all the penalties, Dan, but the big play really paid off, and you got to give all the credit to Shaw.
Yeah.
And what he did to not only fake it a couple times, but then air a beauty to Perlberg.
Yeah, and, not a big target, but Perlberg, only 5'9", but he high points it. He's a gifted route runner. We'll see him carrying the ball later on today as well. He's a pretty good running back.
Dibb will tee it up here to kick it off to Waunakee. Drainsvite, Xander McKenzie, and Will Dama, part of the deep man squad here. Joey Shaw will sometimes handle kickoff duties. Stuckert will handle PATs and field goals, but so will Shaw. Joey Shaw is doing everything. I think I saw him doing the fish fry here earlier tonight, Dan.
Yeah, Johnny all around.
But it's Dibb here to boot it with 19 ticks left in the first. Fielded at the 3. And wrapped up at the 22-yard line. Okay, take 2. John Pearson on the sidelines.
job at Muskego to take the lead there. But speaking of jobs, this guy knows how to get them here. Andy Jorgensen for the Bricklayers. But you are talking about the trades and the importance of these people. Those people understand learning what the importance of those trades are for their future.
Right. Building trades are a great opportunity, a great career. You don't have to go to college, earn as you earn, no college debt. It really is a great opportunity.
And when you talk to the kids out here that maybe just being a part of them, what's their response?
They don't believe it at first, but if you like working with your hands and you like working outside, I'm from the Bricklayers, and it really is a great opportunity. We're not just brick, but we're also tile setting. So you got pension, you have health care, all on top of the great wage you're making.
And of course, the foundation of their future. Hey, Bricklayers, is there? How do they find out that?
You go to bacwi.org. That'll get you to our website. You can check out all the opportunities.
I wish you were more enthusiastic. That's awesome. But again, thanks for your support right there. And again, look into it.
Big run here to close out the first quarter by Drainsvite. A little momentum for Waunakee as they head to quarter number 2. Our first quarter is in the books on My 24. Primetime Preps scoreboard reads Muskego 7 and Waunakee nothing. Back with quarter number 2 when we return.
For local. Talk. He was good. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are we going to be wired?
Monday nights at 7.
On a gorgeous night for football here in Muskego, the home team leads at 7-0. Easy for Dan and I tonight. Warriors touchdown. Warriors, it's always Warriors. Appropriate, though, that these two teams are Warriors because they will both be in the mix to have successful and long playoff runs in 2026 as Drainsvite gets the carry here. Had a good carry to close out the first period. Not much on that carry here to start number 2. Each week we highlight a hit of the game, and it's brought to you by the MD Hyperbaric. Seen a couple of good hits so far that we're bookmarking and filing away for future use. Second down and 8 for Waunakee. Trudell, the quarterback, back to throw in the pocket. Hits his receiver at the 45-yard line, and then close to midfield. Goes West Ducharme. Little catch and carry, first down, Dan.
Yeah, very nice play here. Good protection. Waunakee's got a really nice system going here with their quick passes. They're not giving Muskego a chance to sack him.
At midfield with a fresh set of downs. Drainsvite got it the last second, then he pinballs his way to the 47-yard line. Let me just backtrack, spin it back, Dan. That was not Ducharme. It was actually Musalam Who got him the first down? The Moose was on the loose.
The Moose was on the loose.
47.
And then Drainsvite got 3 in that carry, so it's 2nd down and 7. Waunakee and Muskego territory.
This is zone read to their sideline. No, not anymore. Yeah. Energy. Yeah. Power that way.
Trudell. Drainsvite has it. Good tackle on the outside there that time by 53, Xander Zenisek. All this season, touchdowns are being brought to you by Steam Fitters 601. Explore a rewarding career with the Steam Fitters Local 601, the keepers of the craft.
Yeah, Xander Zenisek. He's a player to be watched now. He's a D1 prospect already after his performance at the Badger camp this past summer.
Came in with a burst off the edge that time to force 3rd down and 6. Trudell, sideline toss, catch is made right at the 1st down mark at the 40, and that's going to get the job done and move the chains for Waunakee as Carter Hill delivers again right there for his QB.
Yeah, big target. Big target. Good one to go to on the sideline.
6 for 85.
Then move Hill around, sometimes bring him in that tight end slot as well. A lot of options with 85. 1st and 10 from the 40. Trudell, little play action. Slings it over the middle. Catch is made. Stumbling. Ball is out. Who's got it? They're going to say it was down at the 3-yard line, so give the catch to Jackson Kidd, Dan.
Yeah. Wow. And they're in a hurry-up mode here trying to get Muskego while they're reeling.
37 yards on.
Yeah. Eyes downfield. Finds the open man. This will be interesting to see when it came out. And we won't.
Because Waunakee is in for the touchdown.
Man.
Aaron Trudell gets the carry, lost his cap, doesn't care. He's going to celebrate a PAT away from tying this football game up.
Yeah, big guys up front, got him in the end zone. Again, Muskego really didn't have a chance to regroup here. You can see right here, it's just a simple keep right off the left tackle. Good push up front. Weston shoots, Alex Manley.
Here's Ryan Lutz, 3-year starter as Waunakee's kicker. He's a good one. For the tie, bangs it through, and it's 7 apiece. So the big fling downfield to Kidd, who caught it, lost it, but recovered it. Or at least they say he was down. And then Trudell, 1 play later, is into the end zone. Here's that play again.
Here's that play. Ooh, the ball is out. But I think they recovered it anyway.
And you see the beanbag comes out, that little blue beanbag, and then Trudell called his own number and just got behind Drainsvite and those big bodies up front to score and tie it. All right. Down once again to John Pearson.
All right, things haven't gone exactly the way you wanted in the last couple of minutes here but at Muskego, but Matt Kretza's a part of a youth football program that is such a big part of Muskego's success, but you're also a part of the community service that is a part of the big message here. Tell me what you're doing tonight with the food pantry and why that's as important as any of the football.
We're collecting food for the Muskego food pantry. And one of our biggest focuses is developing the players, not only as football players, but as people and community members. So we try to give back to the community as much as we can. And we want to make this a place where everybody wants to come live, wants their kids to grow up, wants them to be a part of this because they become good people, not just good athletes.
And as great as the atmosphere and frantic as it might be, the franticness might be you're filling up your bins so fast, your people are having to bounce back and forth. Talk about the success of what you're having tonight.
I mean, we worked with the food pantry, and they were going to come and at the end of the night and empty everything out. And we actually have them making multiple trips now because we were able to succeed and get it filled, and we are stocking that pantry. As you can see, we have a ton of people here, and they all showed up and showed out with their donations.
And is there a way to find out more about what you're doing? Obviously, the youth football program is such a big part of your life, but also, is there a way to find out more about what you're doing community service-wise and what the food pantry is doing?
We're always working with local community functions, organizations. You can go on to MuskegoYouthFootball.com. You can see who our sponsors are. You can see who is donating, where it's going, and what we're involved in there.
All right, Matt, thanks so much for doing it. Thanks for everything you do here, and look into supporting these guys. What an amazing program they have, and it's maybe more successful than they were ready for.
Thank you, JP. Touchback on the kick from Lutz. Heffler on the carry there from the 20-yard line. Yeah, they marched out all the young future warriors here at Muskego Den. There's like over 400 kids in this future youth program here. It's one of the best in the state. It's why this team is year in and year out one of the best, because they got a great farm system.
Yeah, tradition.
Gain of 3 for Heffler. 2nd down and 7 now for Muskego. Trying to answer the Waunakee tying touchdown. Shaw disguises it on the give, and a wrap-up. Good wrap-up that time by Leland Ressler. Senior linebacker came in to really slow the progress down. Otherwise, that had big yardage written all over it.
Yeah, Ressler, again, he's a multi-sport kid. He's a lacrosse player, good in space.
And Chris Graverson said, give me all the lacrosse players you got at Waunakee. They're tough. That sport toughens up football players. It's 3rd down and 4 here for Muskego. Shaw again directing some traffic. Pre-snap and then whistles, penalty flags. Might be a delay. Well, that changes things here for Muskego, Dan.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and again, Bob, that internal clock has to go off. That's happened a couple times to Joey.
Now Shaw and Muskego looking at 3rd down and 9. Certainly has the arm and the ability to get a big chunk like this without having to keep it on the ground. He looks to throw, rolling, setting up, firing. Incomplete. Tossing it down there for Perlberg, who caught the touchdown earlier, brings up 4th down.
Yeah, that would have been a phenomenal catch had he hauled this in. And we'll see here. Joey gets outside, throws to Perlberg, and just off his fingertips.
Boy, Dan, you can see why Muskego wants to take advantage of the athleticism of Shaw and not just have him be that guy who distributes the football.
No, they're using his talent.
They'll use his leg here to boot the football. Weston Ducharme is deep, standing at his own 41. Good kick. Ducharme at the 40. Zigzagging. Cuts back into the middle, and black shirts there galore to bring him down to the 49-yard line. And that's where Waunakee sets up in a tie ball game. This season, when a team gets inside their opponent's 20-yard line, they enter the Bryant and Stratton College red zone. Bryant and Stratton College, built different for you. Waunakee gets a chance to march down into the red zone here and untie this.
Yeah, it's a big series both ways here. Waunakee wants to tack on another score. Muskego wants to get that ball back and answer that score Waunakee had earlier.
We said, Dan, early on, you could see and sense it was the feeling out process for both teams. I think that part has been erased.
Yeah, that's over.
First and 10 here from the 48. Trudell, little comebacker. Look at this. Had a steam and then tripped up at the 45-yard line. Andrew Musalam ran a long way, and you hear the applause because there's a penalty flag that came down well after the play.
That was 16, right?
So Musalam went a long way to pick up 6-7 yards.
Yeah, it's coming back.
At the 45, John.
And that's why unsportsmanlike conduct. It happened after the tackle was made and after the play had ended. See if we can pick it
we'll
up.
See here, you're running a funnel screen here. Looks like he's a clean tackle. Oh,
right
here
there.
we go.
Drainsvite.
Yeah.
So Drainsvite, Dan, was out in space blocking for Musalam. And then that little extra shove, costly. And then Musalam dropped the football. So Moose not on the loose there, couldn't complete it. Second down and long. Musalam, he's a three-sport guy. Football, obviously, but also hockey and track.
Yeah, and you can see the toughness. Those hockey players are tough.
They line them up everywhere, do they? With the Moose. Slot guy, but they'll put him all over the football field and let him go to work with that speed and toughness. Third down in a bunch. 3rd and 18. Trudell just gives it to Drainsvite. They'll just try to get something before booting the football there. Don't want to get cute here on 3rd and long. Now it's 4th and long, and the punting unit comes on for Waunakee. So the potential was there, Dan, for Waunakee, but the penalty wiped away the potential. As soon as they got over midfield, they went backwards. And now Lutz has to boot the football. Heffler, the beat man, standing at the 22 for Muskego. This will be marked shy at the 1-yard line.
Oh, man.
Almost a special team, special play, block, and 6 the other way, Dan.
Yeah, still a special teams special play. And guess who? The sophomore who went to the Badger camp, Xander Zenisek. What a play by him, setting up a great field position in the red zone.
Yeah, that was Brady Austin who picked up the loose change and almost took it in for 6. They marked him just shy, just outside the 1-yard line. Put it at the 2. 1st and goal, Muskego. You saw all the black and red fans. They had their hands in the air, got in front of our cameras, but we don't blame them. That was a big-time play on special teams. Now the officials are walking back here.
I really don't know what the conversation would be about amongst the officials.
Well, they're going to send both teams to the sidelines here.
Yeah, and I think maybe just the timeout was called because they're no longer huddling.
All right, after the big block and return down to the 2-yard line, it's 1st and goal for Muskego. Got to like Heffler here down near the goal line. Or Shaw, trying to get it himself. Mark Shy inside the 1. You can see that close with the quarterback sneak trying to get it in. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Got to be on the 1-inch line.
Play came back in quickly from Colin Smith, the OC. This close, Dan.
Yeah, you can see when he stretches the ball out, he's right there. Had he kept it in his hands, it would have been over.
Shaw again. No, Heffler this time. In. Touchdown, Muskego.
Again, not surprising, going off left tackle, Harlan O'Quinn over there. Ruben Garcia. And you can see it. Guys up front, pad under pads. All he had to do was stretch it out.
And a little Selly on his back in the black end zone for Bryson Heffler. His first TD run of the season. Makes it 13-7. Stuckert to tack on one more. Got it.
Cool. Line drive.
And it's 14-7, Muskego. 5:10 to go before halftime here in Muskego. It's 14-7 now. Muskego in front. All that's left is everything. Be seated for the final episodes of the groundbreaking series that always leads with heart. Don't miss the emotional and powerful final chapters of All-American Monday nights at 7 on CW18. 14-7 here. Muskego goes back in front. Special teams. 2 plays later into the end zone. They cash in to regain the lead after Waunakee marched to tie it at 7. And back to boot it once again is Dibb. Line drive kick. Fielded, slipping at the 2. But back at it, Musalam. He gets sandwiched at the 20. Now the Warriors, the purple-clad Warriors, go back to work on offense, trailing by a touchdown. This week on Faith in the Zone with Mike McGivern and Pastor Ken Keltler, former Indiana University defensive end Al Haywood will be their special guest. Faith in the Zone, Sunday morning at 8 a.m. on Fox Sports 920 and your iHeartRadio app. Marquette at the 21-yard line for Waunakee, 1st and 10. Trudell. Oh, a little almost Statue of Liberty-esque, and then he takes off as number 7, and he gets the first down. Kind of tucked that football around
Yeah.
his belt, Dan.
Yeah, I did. Like you said, look, started out like a Statue of Liberty play. You know, he was a backup, really his first team, but the team trusts him, makes good decisions. You can see right here, good fake. Guys up front, holding up people. You know, 44, Logan Salas just had a tough angle, or he would have gotten him.
It's a first down run for Trudell. That's a run there for Drainsveit, who got 4 to make it 2nd down and 6. Still plenty of time before halftime here for Waunakee. They don't have to rush. But they are going a little giddy up, hurry up here. Drainsveit bouncing, spinning, back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing. Maybe got a yard. Looking at 3rd down and 6 now. Waunakee needs the 43 to move the chains here with under 4 to go. Trudell lining him up. Tried to draw him off there. Get a free 5. Lost the football. Trudell got it back. But give a sack to Muskego, who was there to make sure 7 couldn't get it off on the 2nd try. It's 4th down.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see right here, really never even had a chance. It not knocked out of his hand, it just slipped out of his hand. A little bit of pressure by Kipton Koshak.
Kipton was there to bring it down and force a timeout by Muskego. They want to get the football back here with time to go before halftime. I want to thank the folks at Bunzel's Old Fashioned Meat Market and Catering for being not only one of our sponsors, but feeding our crew pregame. And in the meantime, during this timeout, John Pearson, another check-in with JP.
Well, these are certainly two teams that have been playing football for a long time and are really well schooled. Here in Muskego, there's a reason for it. They start teaching the wing tee offense in the womb, but Zach Stong is a big part of the Muskego youth football program. Tell us a little bit about the importance of what you're doing besides the football part. There's a lot more to it.
Yeah, it's just family mentality with all of our players and coaches and their families. Getting kids to love the sport, come back year after year, compete with each other, and just have a great time. The big part of AYFL is safety, so all of our coaches are certified and teaching the correct way to tackle every game, every practice.
Yeah, and when you see somebody that maybe you weren't sure they were paying attention, or maybe they're doing it out here now after years of being in it, how satisfying is that to you when maybe it's something that's outside of football, maybe it's on the football field that, wow, they were listening?
Yeah, it's just, paying attention to your teachers and, your parents. Obviously respectful of your other players on the team and your coaches. So
obviously, people in Muskego would want to know more about All-American Youth Football. How do they maybe learn about that?
So they could probably go on the website, find out when games are happening, show up, and enjoy some good youth football.
All right, everybody showed up. Everybody in town showed up tonight, and a big part of why this program's so good is people like this guy.
Yeah. Thanks.
And thank you, John Pearson. Aiden Perlberg got the carry on the ground that time, Dan. Always, if you're playing a wing, if you're a back, you have to do so much in this offense, and they're all ready for it.
Yeah, good pickup, 8 yards on first down.
At the 36, Heffler up the middle, just trying to get the first down. Going to be just short. Or, nope, they gave it to him. They're going to say first down, got it to 39, move the chains. You see the time remaining before halftime here. Muskego burning that timeout before the punt, so they've got some room to operate here before halftime. 1st and 10 at the 39. It's Perlberg again. And on the backside, he's wrestled down after a gain of only 2. Looked like Chuck Elliott got him again on the backside, 99.
Yeah, he was there, and Jackson Gatsky was also there, number 33.
41, 11 for 2.
Winding down to the 2-minute mark here of the second quarter. 2nd down and 8. Ball's at the 41. Shaw, long cadence, tossing. Got his man at midfield. Still on his feet. That's Braden Dibb. The kicker is also a catcher, Dan. 1st down, Muskego.
Yeah. You know, he's got a reputation being nasty, tough weapon. Here he is, wide open. Nice catch. Break that first tackle. And he's going to attack the tackler.
Meanwhile, good news there, Dan, but bad news back at the line of scrimmage. Joey Shaw is the man down here. Hopefully it's just a cramp.
Yeah. That would be devastating.
Training staff is out there. Coming up in the Current Electric Halftime Report, we will highlight this week's Primetime Preps Scholar Athlete nominees and meet a few of our sponsors, and also take a look at first half highlights. This is not a highlight Muskego wants, and bouncing up is Shaw. Gonna hobble off. I'm not a doctor, and I don't play one on TV, Dan, but I'm thinking that was just a cramp.
Yeah, that's you know the remedy to that, Bob.
Not the pickle juice story.
Yes, pickle juice.
No,
yes,
not the
is.
pickle juice story. I don't see any jars of pickle juice on either sideline, Dan.
I think they have them concealed, but that's the remedy.
How about just walk it off? How about
and
I'm going to die on that hill.
And drink some pickle juice.
All right, so it looks like Heffler's going to take the snap here while Shaw gets that pickle juice on 1st and 10 at the 38. No, they give it to Heffler. And in fact, it was Chase Horn, a sophomore who's the backup quarterback who took the snap. But Heffler was lined up like he might have taken it down.
Yeah.
Gain of a couple. A minute to go here. 2nd down and 8. Looks like Shaw's back in there. He is. Sat out one snap. Curling around is Jackson Schultz, who gets knocked out of bounds at the 35. Looking at 3rd down with 48 left. 3rd down and 6, we'll call it, at the 35.
Yeah, definitely 2-down territory.
Muskego has 2 timeouts remaining. Again, Shaw back in, under center here on a critical 3rd down play. Schultz in motion, blocking out front. Shaw downfield, and it's caught for a 1st down by Jackson Schultz.
Here's that sophomore Schultz. You see on the replay here, what a nice touch throw. Lefty going right, lays it up for his receiver, and a great grab before going out of bounds.
I loved how Shaw, calm in the pocket, Dan,
Yeah.
set up shop. Clock runs again, 1st down at the 19-yard line. It's Perlberg looking for running room on the outside. There is none. Shoved out of bounds. Maybe a gain of 1. Stops the clock with 25 to go.
Smart run by Perlberg. Get out of bounds. Stop that clock. Save the timeout.
No gain on that run, however. Clock is running here at
Yeah,
Muskego.
he's out of bounds.
And the officials will stop it and talk about it. Yeah, pretty clear that he was out of bounds. So the clock should have stopped. They may wind this back to 25 seconds remaining. Keith Nault is the white cap, our lead referee, and he's talking with the line judge over there. And now Nault wants to talk with the other members of his crew. You can see Joey Shaw. He was the first one who came up under center and said, "Why is the clock running?" See if we can listen in. I think Keith Nault is telling Ryan Lucchese that he was pushed out of bounds, and the staff is saying we saw the hands wave. And now Ryan Lucchese is saying, okay, then we're going to call a timeout. This is Ryan Lucchese's first game, Dan, as the head coach at Muskego. Been around a long time at the DC.
Yep.
But stepping in for Hall of Fame coach Ken Krause. Told us before the game, the butterflies were there, but they always are there. And now you see Nault saying timeout. Going to be called by Muskego.
Wow.
So they've got one left. See if they put any time back on the clock, however. That's the question.
I don't think so.
Well, the hometown clock operator did not help the hometown. But the officials, they all talked amongst themselves.
Could take 3 seconds off.
You're right, Dan.
Yeah.
There's the scoreboard here of this beautiful stadium, but 13 seconds left. Timeout was charged to Muskego, so they have just one left, and it's second down and 10. Shaw, second man, then keep it. And he's met. He dragged for the longest time Leland Ressler, who finally wrestled him down. And now third and final timeout with 7 seconds left.
Bob, if Ressler doesn't bring him down, he's walking in the end zone. There's nobody left on that side of the field.
Ressler acted like a wrestler, didn't he?
Yeah.
Hanging on for dear life. All right, game reset here. No timeouts remaining for Muskego. They're looking at third down and 6 to go. You can take a shot here to the end zone, Dan, and not burn all 7 seconds off, and then still try to kick the field goal if you don't connect and convert for 6.
Yeah, but it better be better not waste any time in the backfield, or that 7 seconds is going to tick off.
Yeah, that's the dicey part of this equation here for Muskego. So Shaw will bring them out. You see the first down marker, top of your screen there. They need the 9. But they also want to try for 6 here. Shaw tosses. Nope. Incomplete. It was intended for Schultz. Jackson was looking left. Ball was going right. And there's 3 seconds to go. And the field goal try forthcoming for Muskego. Caden Stuckert, 31-yard field goal attempt at the halftime buzzer to extend the lead to plus 10. And Waunakee will play ice the kicker here and call a timeout. And so now Chris Graverson, in his third season as the head coach. Like Lucchese, he was the D coordinator for so many years under Pat Rice, who was the head coach for 32, Dan.
Man, Pat Rice, I mean, you talk about two legends heading up these two programs in the past, Pat Rice for Waunakee and Ken Krause for Muskego. And these guys step in and they don't miss a beat. Just a tribute to their loyalty and the excellence of the program. Graverson's case, when he took over, nobody left. You know, and you can say the same thing about Muskego. They're all on the same page.
All right, Stuckert again. 31-yard try. Bangs it through. It's good. And Muskego leads by 10 at halftime, 17-7 in the battle, week 1 battle of Warriors. So the feeling out process led to some good old-fashioned hard-hitting football in the second quarter. That's our score at the half. We've got all kinds of halftime activity coming your way next on My 24. You're watching Primetime Preps football.
Please turn your attention to center field for your halftime entertainment as the Muskego High School dance team will perform with the Muskego Youth Football 1st to 4th grade spirit teams and the Muskego Youth Football 5th to 8th grade dance teams.
Welcome back to Muskego, and welcome back to the Primetime Preps Kern Electric Halftime Report. Time now for our Scholar Athlete of the Week. And you can see it's Brady Austin from Muskego, Dan. Quite the resume for Mr. Austin.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at that grade point average.
Top 5% of his class, Leadership Council, and of course youth wrestling and Special Olympics when he's not playing football. Congratulations to Brady Austin. Time now for our John Pearson got to talk to Indy Harper-Barrett.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. We're taking a little breath in the action here, and there's no place you can get a more fresher breath than at MD Hyperbaric here in Wauwatosa. Maureen Saltweedle joins us now, and I've obviously opened just earlier this year, but why are you trying to make sure you're connecting to the high school community and your community in general?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming out. I am passionate about high school sports. I have a high school senior this year. He's playing football, and over all of these years, I've seen so many accidents and injuries occur on the field, from tears and strains and sprains to concussions, and a lot of times the answer is to wait. You just have to wait for your body to heal, and that doesn't always go very well. We have family friends that were out of school, couldn't drive, migraines, headaches, and just some lifelong injuries from that. And so hyperbaric oxygen therapy can actually help heal faster and resolve some of these conditions. So I think it's a really important therapy for parents and athletic trainers and students to know about in case one of these unfortunate effects happens to their child.
And how did they find out more about it? They probably want to do some research and then call you, but how do they find out more quickly?
Yep. MDhyperbaric.com has a lot of information, but we are always willing to take the phone call. We talk about this all day long. It's our passion, and we'd be happy to answer any questions. So you can also call us, 262-406-0800.
All right. Thank you for supporting high school sports. And it is a breath of fresh air out here, guys.
Indeed it is. Halftime here in Muskego. It's week 1, and it's 17-7. Muskego, the home team, in front of Waunakee. A lot of folks that are on the football field entertaining the Muskego crowd here as Muskego leads Waunakee 17-7. We send it down during all the halftime festivities to John Pearson.
All right, we got a great game going on right here. Muskego very happy about things, but we're very happy to be joined by Staff Sergeant John Wright here from the Army, and we're so glad you're involved with us here. And obviously, you're trying to reach a lot of these people, but what is kind of the response here? Because they're getting not only maybe some information, but they're getting kind of a face of the Army and what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important that it's more than just, seeing the Army as where it's like getting the information, putting the face to the name, kind of making these community relationships where like people see and you're like, oh, that's the Army guy type deal. So it kind of makes it easier for people to want to come up and ask questions once they, kind of get the feel for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and you're a local guy who can talk the language. I mean, not that Wisconsin is a different language, but you can talk that. But your experience, what did it do for you to join? Because you probably had a path for a while, it sounded like when we were talking, but now you've got a different path.
Yeah, I mean, it did a lot for me. I mean, growing up, I didn't really travel much outside the Midwest, and now I've been all over the place, met people from all over the world, and done a lot of cool stuff in my career. So the Army really is just the land of opportunity. There's so much to do in the Army, so I think it's a great opportunity for people that are, unsure of what they were doing like me, to kind of get into that Army mode and, do something cool.
And kind of the response finally when you do maybe open their eyes to something they didn't know, because I think they know you're Army, you're deployed somewhere, but it's also they get something out of it that's going to prepare their future.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. I mean, I feel like, you talk to so many people, and when they think of the Army, they think of, one thing, like what they see on video games or what they see in the news, but it's so much more. We have over 150 jobs to choose from, spanning from like the medical field to aviation to logistics. So there's so many things that you can do in the Army that also transfer very well into the civilian world as well.
All right, thank you, John, right there. And there he is. He's being all he can be.
Indeed he is. Thank you, John Pearson. Earlier, John got to talk with Doug Burling from Bryant and Stratton College.
Thanks a lot, guys. And one thing that one of our great sponsors has done over the years is Bryant and Stratton College has offer opportunities to students who may or may not be ready to go away to school and study other things. That's one thing the athletic department has done. And Dean Burling is the athletic director here. He's learning all the things that has made this athletic department so special. Just why is it important to be out in that community and supporting high school sports when you're in your line of work?
Well, I think it's important because it's an important time of life for these men and women, and on my side, the athletes. You're kind of at one of those Y's in the road. Which way do you want to go? Do you want to continue education? Do you want to play athletics? So that's where we come in, and I think this is such a special place. We got great educators here. We got great coaches and teams that had great success here, and then to be able to give academic scholarships, to be able to give athletic scholarships. It's a tremendous opportunity. It's been for me for the short time I've been here, and it would be for any kid. I sent 2 here myself, and I'm excited that I did that.
And it is all about opportunity. Guys, back to you as we talk a little bit more about why Bryant and Stratton gives opportunities that no one else can.
Thank you, gentlemen. 17-7 our score here in Muskego. Back with more halftime activity, chatting, and whatnot when we return. Welcome back to the Primetime Preps Current Electric Halftime Report. We keep John Pearson busy. He wouldn't have it any other way.
All right, we've gotten to know a few of our sponsors here tonight, and we're always so glad that Carthage College continues to be with us. And Rafael Lozano is very popular because he's involved with financial aid with the school, joining us. But things are going well because a lot of people talk about the colleges are struggling, but it seems like Carthage's message is getting across.
Yes, it is. We've actually are bringing in our four years now running, biggest class ever, roughly about 1,000 students coming in this fall. Tomorrow is actually our move-in day for our first-year students. Wow. So, yeah, pretty amazing stuff that we're doing over there.
And you mentioned it before. You were saying you can visit any time just about, and even if it's not your first thought is Carthage, you want to get them to see what makes it special. And what's the message when somebody that just kind of wants to take a look?
Yeah, exactly. So we have all sorts of different visits available, whether it's an individual visit or general preview day visit. But the word is that we want you to come see it, experience something different, right? So essentially, we want you just to take a look and give it an opportunity, just like the way we give our students opportunities to succeed.
And when you're talking to people, what's the biggest maybe surprise? They got that? Whoa, they got that? Because I mean, the campus is beautiful easily, but there's more to it than that. Is there anything that surprises people?
So one of our top programs is nursing. But then we also have engineering right behind that as well, along with our School of Business and Economics and School of Health. So lots of opportunities there.
All right. For more, you go to carthage.edu, and it's just a great sponsor and a great school.
A great place on a great lake. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Bob Brainerd, Dan Brunner up here in the booth. Halftime highlights coming your way from the first half of action, Dan. And we talked about it. There was that feeling out process. But then once they got things going, they got it going. And it was with the D.
Yeah, first highlight is a defensive pick. Set the tone.
Set the tone for a passing touchdown at Muskego. Are you kidding? Yep. It's the new day and age of Muskego football. Perlberg hauls it in from Shaw to make it 7-0 after one, but Waunakee answering through the air as well, Dan.
Yeah, nice job hanging in. A little bit of controversy about was it a fumble, was it not? Didn't matter.
Didn't matter because Trudell carried it in one play later to tie the game at 7 apiece. Number 7 punching it in for Waunakee's first points of the game. And then another big play on special teams. Block punt, take it back the other way, almost the other way. All the way was Austin, but it set up the offense, and Shaw to Heffler in for the touchdown to make it 14-7. And then right before halftime, you just saw it, field goal from 31 yards out. At the buzzer makes it 17-7. That's our score at the half. Muskego, those Warriors, leading the Waunakee Warriors by 10 points. And one more time, JP on the sidelines.
All right, Muskego, of course, the atmosphere is legendary here, and the schools are getting there as well. Todd Irvine, the superintendent. Talk a little bit about the culture here.
Oh, the culture's incredible. And to be honest, the culture starts with this. When you come out on a Friday night and you see 1,000 of your students out here cheering on 100 football players, cheering on 75 dance members, 35 Palms girls, it's just awesome. Our whole community comes out to cheer us on.
And yeah, football is king, but I talked to Andy, the principal, and he was like bragging about some guys that are in college right now that came through these programs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We very much pride ourselves on being student athletes. Student comes first in everything we do. So it doesn't matter what sport it is, what club it is, you're a student first. And when your students are great athletes as well, it elevates their ability to be great leaders. So we're really blessed and fortunate to have that.
I just wish you were more enthusiastic, but
let's go.
Things are going great, Muskego, guys.
Let's go. Second half. Let's go.
Let's go indeed. Let's go to the second half of this football game when we return. 17-7 our score. Electric atmosphere here in Muskego.
50-50 winner. Tyson from Muskego. Congratulations. If you purchased the 50-50 tickets, we do appreciate your support.
Getting you all set for the start of the second half of this one. Great non-conference tilt to kick off week one between Waunakee and Muskego. The Warriors from the home team lead the Warriors, the visitors from Waunakee, 17-7. Dan, Waunakee was toe for toe with Muskego. If you take away the INT and the block kicked, those two plays were costly for Waunakee.
Yeah, very costly. But really, when you look at it, man, that field goal was huge to end that half. Otherwise, that 7-point game isn't so daunting. But 10 points, that gets a little dicey.
Yeah, and it's the old 2-for-1, right? They
Yes.
got the field goal before the half, and now Waunakee giving Muskego the football here to start the second half.
Yep.
Let's tease it up for Waunakee. They're in the purple helmets, the white head to toe otherwise. Muskego, as per usual, the men in black head to toe. Heffler and Perlberg are deep for Muskego. And Lutz, a lot of air into the end zone for another touchback.
Lutz's kick carries into the end zone for a touchback.
So, Primetime Preps apparel provided by BSN Sports. Contact BSN Sports for all of your team apparel, uniform, or equipment needs. Visit them at bsnsports.com to learn more. So 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. To Dan's point, if Muskego can cash in for points here to start the second half, it is huge with that field goal that ended the first half of action. Joey Shaw is the quarterback, under center on 1st and 10. And the give, looking for running room on the outside is Schultz. He's tackled, a good tackle by Kingston Marks, the cornerback, coming up from the secondary.
Yeah, Kingston, his reputation is he's a hard hitter off the edge and out of the secondary. Again, a multi-sport athlete, a lacrosse player.
Yeah, but not before Schultz got 7 yards, so 2nd down and 3 at the 27. This is Heffler, right side. And he'll get dragged up and over the 30. That's a 1st down for Muskego.
Yeah. What do we say one of the keys was, Bob? Finish. And if you watch him at the end of that run, that's how a running back finishes a run.
Yeah, he knew where the line to gain would be. And he got it and then some. 1st and 10 at the 31. Shaw still has it. Sets up shop, now gets flushed. And now throws a duck. But there to catch it is Dibb. Dibb steps out of bounds at the 42-yard line. That was a little ad-lib there by Joey Shaw, Dan.
Yeah, it is. Good escapability. Comes up. He took a shot from Folan, but got it to his receiver, Dibb, who's got that nasty reputation, and he showed it at the end of that run.
Yeah, even though he was whistled out of bounds, he just kept going and gave a little noogie patrol downfield. 1st and 10 at the 42 for Muskego. It's Heffler, right side, and when it looks like he's got nothing or maybe just a yard, he gets 6, damn.
Yeah, he just really, it's a tribute to his hard work in the weight room, obviously. You could put that label on anybody on this Muskego team. They call them weight room warriors.
Pun intended.
Yep.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. Shaw, second man. It's Schultz again. Jumping up and over bodies and getting the first down. Jackson Schultz has made some big plays tonight.
Yeah, huge upside here. Watch that sophomore coming around. We can't really see it here, but he's following those guards. You want to know where the ball's going? Follow Garcia and McGuire.
Dan mentioned he's only a sophomore, but he looks already comfortable at the varsity level. Heffler, not this time.
Nope.
Tried that right side, and he was spun around and brought down by Sawyer Ellis.
Yeah, Sawyer, again, great technician. You said it earlier, Bobby. The guy you want to have a fight in a phone booth, and there he comes, right there. And along with Chuck Elliott.
Loss in the play, so now 2nd down and 11. Back at the 41-yard line. Who's got it? It's Perlberg. Scampering, slithering his way to the 30. A lot of misdirection here.
You can see right here. As long as you're getting a body on a body, Perlberg is just so shifty. He seems to find the crease and turn it into a big gain.
That's what Perlberg can do in space when he catches footballs, but you saw him run with it there with results. 3rd down and 2. Heffler tries the left side and keeps working. And he got the first down. Work paid off for number 3.
Yeah, legs just never stop churning. And again, he finishes the run.
He is the finisher. He's a closer. 1st and 10 at the 30. On the give, Schultz. Jackson, nice running room on the left side. Almost gets the first down there. Kingston Marks came up with the football, but play was dead.
It was already down.
Got 8 yards on this carry, Dan.
Yeah, you can see him following his guards. We'll see. Oh, the ball did slip out before his knee hit. But they had blown it dead already.
A break for Muskego because Kingston Marks swallowed it up. But the drive continues here. 2nd down and 2. And someone moved from Waunakee. That'll be a free first down for Muskego. Again, that's Keith Nault, our referee. They were very busy in the second quarter of this contest, but moved the ball in the red zone. Mark at the 17, 1st and 10, Muskego. The shifting. Heffler, lone man in the backfield now. And Heffler gets it. Again, stopped early, but refuses to go down early. And that's the key.
Yeah. Got
a couple when it could have been -2. Second down and 6. Great drive underway here for Muskego to kickstart quarter number 3. Shaw. Heffler. Left side again.
Nice hole.
And inside the 10, first and goal, Muskego. He's patient, Dan, but he's strong at the end of his runs.
Yeah.
Which means the patience pays off.
You know, he's only 5'9", 180, but he just keeps churning those legs.
At the 6-yard line, first and goal, Muskego. Who gets it? It's Heffler. Jackson Strobel, number 11, on the backside, got his mitts on Heffler to slow him down. Got a couple to the 4-yard line. Second and goal. Shaw.
Oh.
Up the middle. That's a touchdown. When Dan Brunner goes, oh, that means he's impressed.
That's a gifted player right there. I mean,
great call here, Dan.
Look at that. I mean, he just obviously he saw something earlier and conveyed that to the coaches. What a great call.
You could see right there the eyes came up for a second. He spotted the opening and took advantage of it to walk it into the end zone for 6.
Untouched.
Kick is good. Knocked in by Stuckert. And then 2 parts to the equation here. You get the football after the field goal to end it. You march downfield. You take off half the clock.
Yeah.
And you are Muskego, and you now lead it 24-7.
Presenting sponsor, Marquette University. Explore your purpose. Become your potential with Marquette University. Be the difference. Thank you to all of our partners who make Primetime Preps football possible. United States Armed Forces, Army and Coast Guard, Menards, Carthage College, Current Electric, Milwaukee Builders, Oriented Stratton College, Steam Fitters Local 601, MD Hyperbaric, and the Wisconsin All-American Youth Football League. Thank you for supporting our communities.
Oh, Howell, yeah. You've got the best seat in the house for the season finale of our summer baseball series. Play ball as the Lake Country Dockhounds collide with the Kane County Cougars Monday night, 6:30 on My 24. And if they run out of parking, come down to my house. I got room in the driveway. Took over 6 minutes off the clock, Dan.
Yeah.
Did Muskego. Got the football to start the second half. After the field goal to close out the first half, you get 7 more, and you burn off half of the quarter. I mean, that is perfection to start this second half.
That was a Muskego-ish drive, without any wrinkles.
They have wrinkles in their arsenal, but didn't need them. Fielded on the run. Moose on the loose. And Musalam banged down at the 35-yard line. So now a little urgency here for Waunakee, trailing 24-7.
Yeah, definitely I think you're gonna see the ball in the air a little bit more.
Stay tuned later in the game for our Play of the Game, brought to you by All-American Youth Football League. The future of high school football. Go to aayfl.org for more info. At the 35 is where this drive starts for Aaron Trudell. And he fires a strike, but it's in the dirt or the turf or the carpeting, whatever you want to call it. Incomplete, intended there for Carter Hill.
You know, we talked to Coach Lucchese during the week, and one thing was kind of interesting about, you know, what's different about the program now. He said the one thing that is kind of glaring is they go more good on good, so they're not so separate on offense and defense anymore.
Drains fight. Because of the deficit now, Dan, and you're running out of time and running out of snaps, kind of takes Eli Drainsvite out of the equation.
Yes. Yeah.
And Logan Salas lost his camp for the second time tonight. Comes off for a play. 3rd down and 6 for Waunakee. Cannot go 3 and out. Play coming in from offensive coordinator Steve Arado. Trudell gets hit and almost intercepted again. Because of the hit, Nate Christensen had a shot at it, but couldn't hold on. It's 4th down.
Yeah, we can see right here. Just because of the pressure and the hit on the quarterback, almost set up what would have been a pick and a long return.
That pressure, Dan, is what set up the first pick in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And they almost got it again. Lutz to boot it. Heffler's deep. Standing at his own 29. Lutz quicker on the kick this time. Last time he got it blocked. Heffler lost it. Ball's loose. Picked up, though, by Muskego. And they dodge a bullet there, hang on to the football. They'll mark it as a muff back at the 25-yard line, but Muskego keeps the football and breathes a heavy sigh of relief. Now a message from the steam fitters of 601.
Hi, I'm Doug Edwards, business manager of Steam Fitters Local 601, and we're proud to support Primetime Preps. Like to work with your hands? Don't feel like college is your thing? Steam Fitters Local 601 offers a 5-year registered apprenticeship. By taking an apprenticeship, you will avoid college debt and earn while you learn. Upon completion, you can expect to earn a 6-figure salary with great benefits, including a pension. We make it easy to apply. Visit steam601.org. Apply today and start a better future for you and your family. Thank you.
Jackson Schultz on the carry there after the muff was recovered by Muskego. Boy, Waunakee was hoping, praying for a break of that nature.
Yeah, if there weren't two players back on the punt return, they would have had it.
Loss of 1 on the play makes it 2nd down and 11. Shaw. Second man has it. That's Perlberg. And Aiden can't get around that corner up top. Waunakee in hot pursuit brings up 3rd down and 11. So maybe they didn't get the football, but Waunakee, their defense trying to get it back here for the offense.
Yeah. And again, those guys up front, Chuck Elliott, Gadsky, Ellis, Folan, and they've been up to the task.
Big play here. 3rd down and 11. See if Shaw tries to air it out and pick up the first. No, he hands it off instead, and Heffler's got the 1st down and more.
Wow.
Well, Waunakee, I think, Dan, thought that Shaw would try to throw it.
But again, this is a little bit more Muskego-ish. You can just see here, as in the past, they're just going to do a quick hitter. They pull that guard over, and they had a gaping hole to run through. Nice trap.
All the way out to the 45-yard line. Shot of Heffler. Straight ahead football there off the right side for a gain of 2. That's the thing about that last play, Dan. I mean, it was nothing fancy.
No.
It was just sucking in the defense to think that Shaw might throw.
Absolutely. Set up the trap. Those guys are in pass rush mode.
You got a Waunakee player down. You can see at the top of your screen. Medical team is out there quickly.
48 or 47.
And up quickly is Sawyer Ellis. Maybe just a cramp. Listen to Mike McGivern and Ryan McMillan tomorrow morning starting at 9 a.m. for the Varsity Blitz High School Sports Show, presented by your local pick and save stores. They'll talk with Ben Chosick and a few players from New Berlin West and Mike Budzinski, the head football coach at Carroll University. Tomorrow morning starting at 9 a.m. on Fox Sports 920 or the iHeartRadio app. Good to see Ellis bounce up and over to the sidelines. Cramping is a thing in week 1. Not a warm night, but humid.
Mm-hmm.
Second down and 8. Perlberg. And the linebackers converge on Perlberg before he can get motoring upfield. Perlberg got a couple to the 49. It's going to be 3rd down and 6. Might be the final play. Nope, check that. 2 minutes and counting. Here in the 3rd quarter. Seems like Muskego's had the football forever.
Yeah.
It's Shaw looking to throw. Now just looking to escape. Cross field and caught by Perlberg downfield. That's a 1st down, Muskego.
Boy, Bob, you teach your receivers come back to the ball and look at this. Not only what a great stiff arm escape, points him down, coming back to the ball for a big completion.
Keegan Ballard was with him downfield, but yeah, the point by Shaw directing the traffic, telling Perlberg where the pass was going to go, and we've got another downed Waunakee player. This is Joey Labraco.
Yeah. Again, looks like a cramp. Let's hope.
Joey, a senior, a 2-year starter. Part of that safety coverage for Waunakee. In our tail of the tape, or team resume, or whatever you like to call it, when we set the stage for this one, Dan, again, both these teams, they knew this was a biggie out of the gate.
Yeah.
You got to lick your wounds, or you got to celebrate for 5 minutes because there's another big one next week.
Yes. And, Waunakee's got to go take on Franklin. Muskego is going to face a very improved Oak Creek squad.
By former Wisconsin Badger, their head coach, Brian Calhoun, former Detroit Lion.
Yeah.
So 2 biggies for these 2 teams to start their season, and then conference play begins in week 3. So a fun run for both Warriors squads in 2026. Heffler, again, just that little quick trap.
Yeah.
Gets it to the 38-yard line.
He gives you everything he's got on every play. Hard-working running back.
He's got that package that we've seen with running backs in general in this offense over the years. They're strong, but speedy too. And so is Perlberg. Curling around, going to the right side. Going to be close to the 1st down, just a yard shy. So let's make it 3rd down and 1. And now a Muskego player with a cramp. And Dan, you were a head coach. Why are cramps a thing in week 1 in general?
Well, in general, because they haven't exerted themselves for this length of time, and you typically see this in the second halves of these early games, regardless of the temperature, regardless of the humidity. I mean, and, you know, especially some of these big guys, I mean, they have not exerted themselves for the length of time that they do in an entire ball game.
Yeah, different than going against your own teammates, even a scrimmage.
Yep.
This is Logan Holiday, senior offensive lineman. He pops up. I don't think that was pickle juice. They scored it into him, Dan. I hate to disappoint you.
Did it have a green top? If it had a green top on it.
It didn't.
Oh, okay. Usually Milwaukee Pickle provides the bottles with green tops.
Dan will die on that hill, and I'll die defending that isn't a thing in 2026. All right, 3rd down and 1 here from Muskego. Ball at the 34. A lot of options here for Joey Shaw. Can call his own number. Heffler, certainly. Perlberg. Shaw wants to throw. Jump toss. Got his man, and it's dropped.
Too open.
Happens. Too open indeed. Intended for Molo.
Oh, he is not going to want to see that tomorrow.
Catch it, and maybe in stride you walk into the end zone for a touchdown.
There he goes. Oh, man. You know, it's funny, Bob. He was a running back.
4th and 1. They're going to go for it. Shaw.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Saw that coming.
But, you know, Bob, he was a running back, and they kept talking to him in the weight room about they needed another tight end. They want to switch him to, and he goes, no way, no way, I'm a running back. They moved him to tight end. He said, no way again. No way am I ever going back. I love it. He loves being a tight end now.
Got to catch those if you want to be a tight end. 24-7. Our score after 3. Warriors against Warriors. Heads to the 4th quarter. (24-7) Muskego heading to the 4th quarter. They have not only took stranglehold of the scoreboard, they have set the tone here in the second half. Just a lone touchdown, but boy, they've had the ball a long time in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they have.
And still have it here to begin quarter number 4. 1st and 10 at the 32. It's Shaw rolling. Flushed. And in traffic, it's incomplete, knocked away by Labraco, who was slow to get up a few plays ago, and then Joey right back into the mix. Breaks it up, attempting to get it to Dibb.
Yeah, one of those two long and lean safeties for Waunakee. He and Keegan Ballard.
Yeah, LeBronco's 6'4", 165. 2nd and 10 now. Quick give on the draw, and Waunakee stout at the line of scrimmage that time to snuff out Heffler. Bring up 3rd and 9. Score here by Muskego really, I don't want to say nail in the coffin, but makes it awfully difficult.
Yeah, the way they're chewing up clock.
That's the key. You're putting up points, even though they put up just 7 in the 3rd quarter. Took off lots of time and gave Waunakee limited opportunities to counter and to answer. 3rd and 9 here. Shaw, 2nd man. It's Perlberg. And Waunakee converting. Flag comes in from the secondary. But the official threw it 25 yards. Nice throw.
That was a heave.
Waunakee thinks it's against Muskego. So Waunakee. Should they decline? I think they're going to decline it, actually, because then you bring up 4th down at the 35 instead of. Yeah, and you may have heard in the background.
Yeah, there's the hold right there.
Yeah, there's the hold. And it didn't matter because Perlberg had nowhere to go. So they did decline it, bring up 4th down and long, forcing a Muskego punt. And that's exactly what Waunakee needed, because they need the football and they need to put points on the board toot sweet, which, if you don't know, means quickly. Joey Shaw will boot the football. He's standing at midfield. Shaw, of course, being the quarterback, always the option to throw it. Just kicks it here, over the head and into the end zone for the touchback. So out to the 20-yard line it comes for Waunakee, trailing 24-7. Coming up, following the game tonight, stay tuned for our defensive play of the game presentation. It's brought to you by the U.S. Coast Guard. We've seen some defensive plays. We're cataloging them in our truck, trying to pick one that stands out. Two teams that are tough in the trenches and will be all season long. Aaron Trudell on 1st down. On the give, this is Xander McKenzie. This is the change of pace running back from Drainsvite. He's got some quickness. He's a physical runner, a little quicker, shiftier than Drainsvite, but not that time. Gain of nothing.
No, yeah, I mean 6'2", 186, not quite the package that Drainsvite brings. But as you said, Bob, he's got some quickness.
2nd down and 10. Give it to him. And shows a little bit of that burst in speed. Picks up 3 to the 23. It's 3rd down and 7. I don't think Chris Graverson is calling off the Dogs, but rather maybe, Dan, just being smart with Drainsvite.
Yeah, I do too. It's a long season. I mean, he's toted that package quite a bit up till now.
Giannis, Favre, Rogers, and Yele. Okay.
Okay.
All MVPs.
There we go.
It's the MVP package. Love the flashcards, guys. 3rd down and 7. Trudell wants to go deep and does. In traffic. Oh, you high point it. And going up to get it is Carter Hill. That's what he does. But then The ball is popped out.
Oh, no. Oh. I mean, his M.O. is, like you said, Bob, he's a high pointer. He can go up and get it. We'll see what happened here. He got popped out of there. Went up strong. Looks like he's got it. Oh. Pushed right through. Was Talon Zarniak being a little bit Hunter Wolish.
Wohler-esque?
Wohler-esque.
Wohler-esque? What?
Yeah.
That guy. Legendary Hunter Wohler.
Yeah, you want to be like somebody, be like him.
Absolutely. So, it's not a big completion. It's fourth down. It forces a punt. Lutz, high in the sky, as per usual, fielded at the 41-yard line. And running room straight up the middle for Forsythe. Forsythe to the 44-yard line. Fourth quarter, and time to check in with John Pearson.
Now, guys, both these teams have great examples that the future of America is pretty bright. And, you know, one place to find a bright future is the Coast Guard. And Petty Officer Brittany Rossioli joins me now. And you're out here getting to interact with everybody and kind of put a face on the Coast Guard. What is your message? And it kind of, has anybody surprised you with their reaction to it?
Quite a few, actually. You know, we're so small of a branch that it's nice to get out and, like, actually let people know what we do and, you know, that we are here and readily available for them. So it's been nice to, you know, teach everybody a little bit about what we do.
Okay, your experience, obviously you've been able to have a family. You've been able to do everything, because I think of people think, well, that's ruled out if I'm doing this or doing that. You've had like a full experience with the Coast Guard.
Yes, I have. I've been in 13 years, originally from New York. I have 2 beautiful baby boys. I've been married for almost 10 years. It's been fantastic. There's so many benefits and so many great places to see, and, you know, the camaraderie, it's unmatched. The military is a great option.
Okay, and you've been there for 13 years, so there's people at home thinking, she went into the military when she was 9 years old? That's amazing. But how does people find out? Obviously, you can't go to everybody. Is there more that people can find out about the experience of the Coast Guard?
Yeah, of course. We have a website. Also, our office is in Menominee Falls. If you have any questions, feel free to call us, and we're available all the time.
And when you heard call and all, she's from Long Island. Can you tell? But this is the face of the Coast Guard. Take a look.
Thank you so much. We have an accent in Wisconsin, too, so.
Yeah.
You saw the play run, and then you saw for the second time tonight Logan Holiday cramping up. We hope it's just another cramp for Logan. But the opportunity here, Dan, after the punt, is for Muskego to A, run more clock, and B, well, if you can get points, that's a bonus. But really, it's about running clock here and just putting Waunakee up against it. Well, we found it, Dan. It's tonight's MD Hyperbaric hit of the game. Buckle your seatbelts. Here it is. Way back in the first quarter. That 99 dude.
Chuck Elliott.
Yep. He met Heffler in the backfield, but Heffler had the last laugh, didn't he?
Yeah, Heffler's been finishing those runs the second half.
Back to live action, second down and 7. Heffler's got it this time, and he'll get nothing and like it. Lost a yard. Third down coming up.
Yeah.
Make no mistake, Waunakee will be the favorites in the Badger Large Conference. Yep. They were tested a couple times against Monona Grove last year. Monona Grove will test them again. But this is an outfit that has their eyes on another conference championship this season. Third down. Heffler's got it. No, he doesn't. Perlberg's got it. Fool me once. It's fourth down.
Kyan Newman finished that play. Physical inside backer, loves football.
And flip the coin over, Dan. Preseason outlook for Muskego. They will be players. I don't know if they're the favorites, but they'll be one of the favorites in the Classic 8.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to beat the champ. They've won that thing.
Yeah, Arrowhead won the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
Shaw's going to boot it again. A knuckleball. It'll bounce at the 12 and then roll into the end zone for the touchback. Waunakee gets it with just a little over 6 minutes to play here in quarter number 4, trailing 24-7. Yeah, it's something to think about how these teams stacked up a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Made a deep playoff run. They both got to a state semifinal. Could not win that game. So instead it was Bayport against Arrowhead for the Division I championship.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Again, it's not for lack of competing in the early non-conference games. They both knew what this game was going to do. It's going to set them up for the regular season.
I like your iron sharpens iron metaphor. Drainsvite back in there, gets the carry and gets a lot of attention, as he has all night long.
Logan Salas again, number 44. You mentioned it before. He's changed his body frame, and he was a special teams guy, but he knows what the tradition's about here, and he's all in.
I don't know about the untucked white T-shirt or maxi dress that he has underneath that 44 jersey. That's clean that up. Deep shot. And the Moose got loose, but can't come up with it. Incomplete.
And I think he cramped up right as he went up for the ball.
Yeah. It was solemn. Going full tilt.
That's exactly. He looked like he was going to catch that ball, and that calf bit him.
Identical team out there. We'll step aside here in the fourth quarter. Muskego leading Waunakee 24-7.
Thank you, fans, for being part of tonight's event and broadcast experience. You can relive tonight's game as it will soon be available in its entirety on demand on my24milwaukee.com. Tonight's game will also be rebroadcast tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. on My24. Thank you to all of My24 Sports' fan sponsor partners who make our 17th season of high school football coverage possible. Remember to like My24 Milwaukee on Facebook and Twitter to stay
An epic sports weekend begins next Friday with NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series action at 6. Then college football Saturday kicks off at 5:30 with New Mexico State taking on Florida State. Finally, WWE NXT Heatwave sizzles. Sunday at 2. It's all on CW18. Moose to the sidelines. Little bubble screen over the middle. Incomplete, intended for Drainsvite. It's fourth down. Well, might be time to start licking the wounds if you're Waunakee. And as we said, not quite yet, but almost start prepping on the bus ride back for Franklin.
Yeah.
The Sabres will be a handful. But again, Chris Graverson, he didn't shy away from it. Said, we put out the flyers for matchups, and two schools got back to us.
Yeah.
It was Muskego and Franklin, and Waunakee said, yep,
yeah,
we're in.
Yeah.
Lots to boot it. hit this one. He got a good roll, however, right at midfield. Stay tuned following our game for the presentation of the Champions Trophy. It's brought to you by Marquette University. Be the difference. Hand out some hardware. John Pearson will be scouring the sidelines. Kick things off with our Week 1 coverage. And it's looking like Muskego's going to come away with the W in Week 1. And they can start thinking about Oak Creek tomorrow in their Week 2 matchup. Heffler gets the carry here. Grinder into the pile for no gain. It'll be second down. Yeah, the similarities, Dan, between these two head coaches. Chris Graverson's in his third season, but again, he succeeded Pat Rice as the head coach. Ryan Lucchese, his first season, his first game, but he's been around a long time, and he succeeded Ken Krause.
Yeah, and played for Ken Krause.
Long count by Shaw on 2nd and 10. Working clock. Perlberg comes back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 10. And Ken is not only in the building up top, works with the running backs, but still involved, just not the head guy anymore.
Nope. Looked very relaxed before the game.
Said he was more relaxed than he's ever been on a opening night of prep football season. Turn the reins over. Ryan was bouncing all over the field. He was ready to go.
No shortage of energy there.
Coach Lucchese said he was ready all week long. Didn't lose any sleep. He was chomping at the bit for this game to be played. Marker down. Looked like a false start called. Forthcoming to Muskego. I'm going to make it 3rd and 15 from or rather back at the 45 now.
Yeah, Muskego's OC, Colin Smith, again, he showed some of those wrinkles early on. You know, now this entire second half has been pretty much what you see is what you get from that wing T.
And the rest of the Classic 8 is watching, saying, oh, great, wrinkles. We have to worry about wrinkles now from Muskego. Shaw wants to throw. Flushes, steps up, and incomplete. Went over the head of Jackson Schultz, but there was another player downfield, Dan.
You know, Heffler, had Heffler just kept going, it might have landed in his lap.
And that was Heffler.
We'll see it right here. You know, it's like, whoop, steps back, puts it up, and then it's like, whoa, you take 2 more steps and you might have a touchdown.
Yeah, so Schultz doesn't get it, but there's Heffler almost on the deflection, or it just duck snorts into his back pocket. Oh, well, incomplete. 4th down. Shaw has to punt it here with 3:29 to go. Again, a knuckleball, but get some good distance out of it. And out of bounds at the 21-yard line. That's where Waunakee will take over. And while Ken Krause is here to work with the new Muskego head coach, Ryan Lucchese, Pat Rice, when he retired a couple years ago, he didn't forget about Chris Graverson, who was his DC and linebackers coach. And Chris told us pregame that I talk to Coach Rice 2-3 times a week, and he's always there to listen or dispense advice. Incomplete there. Went for Carter Hill again. Tried to jam it in to 85. Yeah, Pat Rice, his last football game was a state championship against Lake Geneva Badger. And they went for the win for a state championship and didn't get it.
Yeah.
And that's how Coach Rice's career ended. That one deflects incomplete. And Coach Graverson was talking about that, saying we were one play away from sending Pat off in style.
Yeah. Yeah, and like he said, and it was the right call.
It was.
And it absolutely was.
Badger they made the tackle short of the goal line. Didn't get the 2. Badger got the victory in the state championship, and Waunakee got the silver trophy instead. And a few weeks after, that's when Pat Rice very quietly decided, I'm going to call it a career.
Yeah, he didn't want any fanfare.
Nope. 32 years as the head coach at Waunakee. He literally built this program.
Yes, he did.
Third down here. Tossed by Trudell. Again, that's McKenzie out of the backfield. Only got a few. Give them 4. Make it 4th down and 6 with under 3 to go. And the purple-clad Warriors will punt it away. But the point of all our reminiscing and coaching storytelling is this, Dan. These two teams are in good hands.
Yes.
Because, as you said, not only did the new head coach come from within, but the staffs pretty much stayed intact.
They stayed.
Everybody collectively believed in the way the programs were headed, and it just didn't matter who the head guy would be. They wanted to stay together as a group and continue to be good football teams in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, and they are.
So Muskego after the punt. See if they can just run clock here and put this one in the books officially as a 24-7 victory. Gonna have a new quarterback.
Sophomore.
Sam Cohen will be the new running back.
Chase Horn, the new quarterback.
Yep. And now Muskego has to call timeout because the subs, I want to get in, coach, and then they're not ready to get in. So
there are only 10 guys out there.
Yep.
37 join the party.
And get the personnel correct. And we've got another non-conference tilt in store next Friday night. We'll tell you about it during our post-game show. A little teaser there. We won't tell you who, but it'll be another heavyweight bout of two teams that will both have a good shot to return to Camp Randall come November.
Both won state championships recently.
Mm-hmm. A couple more hints there for you. And then we'll get into conference play, and before you know it, you'll blink, and week 9 will be upon us.
Oh.
Where did that go?
Yeah.
What a fun season in store here on Mine 24. Primetime Preps, each and every Friday for you. All right, Chase Horn is the quarterback. We're in the ever-popular quarterback number 38.
Yeah.
5'8" sophomore. Remember, Doug Flutie wore 22 when he was at Boston College. This one's in the 30s now. So. Remember John Hadel?
John Hadel.
2021
Yeah.
quarterback?
Yeah.
Played for the
Same.
Packers,
Yeah.
Chargers and Packers, yeah.
A little more success with the Chargers.
You see Horn, just a sophomore. 5'8", $155. Second down and 9 with a minute 30 to go. Give it off the left side. Again, all new backfield there, so 36 on the carry is Eli Hibbler. He's a sophomore fullback. There's Hibbs.
Yep.
So 3rd and 6 coming up. Will take us under a minute to go. Down the sidelines. Nice run there. 85 is not in our program and doesn't have a name. So sorry, Mr. and Mrs. 85. we got Muskego guys
Muskego
up here.
coaches.
They don't
Help
know.
us out.
It's not one of the Krause kids.
Hey, we got hands
Yeah,
in the
all
air
the hands
up here.
are up.
Yeah. Nice run by 85. Here's 1st and 10. He got the first down.
Jack Mersdorf.
37 on the run here. This is Camden Rondo. Jack Mersdorf, we are told,
is 85.
Yeah, he had that first down run. All the way out to midfield. One more snap should do it. And it will be 1-0 Muskego and 0-1 Waunakee in the Warrior versus Warrior matchup here in week number 1. May not have to snap it. Looks like they don't want to snap it. They have no interest in snapping it. They won't snap it, and that's the ball game. It was tied at 7 in the second quarter, and then Muskego took over from there. Both sides of the ball, special teams, all came into play as the fireworks go off. Man, big budget here at Muskego.
Oh, yeah.
I'm impressed. They do it up right here. Big time celebration with the youth program. All the folks in attendance here to watch Muskego come away with the 24-7 victory tonight, Dan Brunner.
Absolutely. This is and again, you go back to that field goal at the end of the half. That was a huge momentum killer because then Muskego getting the ball to start the second half, and what do? They chew clock.
Yeah, chewed clock, got points. That really turned the tide in this football game, made it from a close contest to not so close in the end. There's your final score, Muskego 24 and Waunakee 7. We've got a lot to talk about in our postgame show, so don't you go away. You're watching Primetime Preps. Football on My 24. Primetime Preps football week 1 is in the books, 24/7. Muskego, a winner over Waunakee. Our defensive play of the game presentation. It's brought to you by the U.S. Coast Guard, Dan. And this first interception of the game was a tone setter. The pressure provides the pick.
Absolutely. Pressure, as you said, provides the pick. Coming up was a huge momentum because they were trading punches up till that point.
Yeah, it was just that feeling out process that we talked about. So that was the defensive play of the game. Down to the field we go, John Pearson, to talk with one of the stars of this Week 1 contest.
All right, plethora is a big word, but there were a plethora of choices for who could be the player of the game, and Bryson Heffler, well, he beat everybody here, so he's first. But no, let's talk about this game here, because it looked like they might be able to shut you down in some ways the way the game started here, but you guys kind of wore on them and did the Muskego way. How big was that you were facing a great team and you took what they had?
Oh, man, yeah, they had a great defense. Our offense, I mean, we pound the rock really well, tire them out. That's kind of our game.
And the way you got to respond, too, because, again, there's a few faces that could be right in this spot here, and I think you take pride in that. The way you guys were able to respond to anything anybody said, anybody did, or is it just we know we can do this?
We know we can do this. I mean, we've been doing it for forever now, and nothing changes. We just go out there, run the ball.
All right, Coach's first game, even though he's been here since you were, I think, eating paste, probably. Does he still eat paste? Probably, yeah. But to get a win for him in his first game and do it the way he wanted to do, I think you opened it up a little bit more with him in charge. But talk about that a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's great. I mean, first game, there's definitely some nerves, but we went out there, did what we had to do, got him his first win.
Okay, and you guys have quite the standard here. What's the standard for this year?
Standard is no regrets. Go out there, play your heart out.
All right, Bryson Heffler is our player of the game. Can you guys pretend you like him or something? Come on, there we go. That's pretty good. All right, back to you guys, and we'll have the trophy presentation coming up.
Careful, John. They're going to beat you up next time. There's a reason he was our player of the game, Dan, because, well, he ran, and you said it time and time again, he was a finisher.
Yeah, just look at this. I mean, legs keep churning. He knows how to use a stiff arm. Packs a lot of punch into that little package.
Certainly the offensive line providing the holes, but again, the vision is so good from number 3 too, yeah. Isn't it?
Yes, it is, and he's got that shiftiness, good quickness.
That one even fooled our cameraman
yeah.
right there. But Heffler showing off the burst, showing off that strength. He was a difference maker for Muskego tonight and the rest of this season. Now, back to the sideline we go for our Champions Trophy presentation brought to you by Marquette University. Be the difference. JP?
All right, just an amazing performance this game. Again, Coach Lucchese in his very first game, despite being an institution around here anyway, the way they started, again, you're playing against a great team. A lot of teams don't like that. You guys seem to like that they were willing to smack you in the mouth a little bit to start. The way you responded, talk about that in your first game.
Yeah, it's competition. I mean, you're never going to run from it. I mean, that's what we're built on. You want to play the best. I mean, Waunakee's a great program, great coaches, tradition's crazy, but the reality is, like, we're going to respond, right? That's what we do. We talk about adversity as an opportunity, and we talk a lot about how we respond when we get hit is really who we are, right? So, like, you saw a lot of what we are and who we are and what we talk about year-round, like, on display tonight over 48 minutes, and that says a lot about these guys behind us, so we're pretty darn proud.
So the difference is, obviously, you've been here. Everybody knows you. They've seen you as a teacher. They've seen you every way here. Was there a difference in how you had to approach things yourself just because you're in charge of everybody now?
Yeah, honestly, not really. We're so established here. Like, our people, our processes are so well inundated, and the consistency and continuity of our staff and our players, our schemes, and everything that we do is established, right? And we just continue to tweak things and grow and elevate where we can. But honestly, no. I mean, we're as comfortable as can be right here, and we love it, right? So I think you saw it, and I think our kids have felt that really since January when this whole thing was announced. So we are who we are, and we're going to keep being us, right? This isn't about whoever has this role. Like, it's about these kids behind us in the program, period.
Okay, finally, Bryson mentioned the standard, maybe because I said it first, but still, he talked about what the standard is. What do you see it for this year?
Yeah, it's leave no doubt, right? The standard is to give everything you have throughout the process, right? We want to make sure we maximize our minutes, right? And we just want to keep getting better, right? Every time we go out, we're trying to incrementally get better, right? So we're going to watch the film, we're going to grow, we're going to go back to work Monday, all right? We're going to find out where we can grow and just keep going back to work.
Right. I know there's another trophy you'd rather be getting, but it's a few weeks down the road that you got to think about that. But tell me why this guy's holding this trophy as the winner of this game.
Yeah, special teams can change games, and we kind of talked about that Monday, right? That was one of the things that we talked about in our Monday meeting as a team, is let's change the games on special teams. Huge block punt. Brady Austin was right there, the way we draw it up in many ways, to scoop it, and we thought he scored, right? The film don't lie, but it is what it is. The offense got to go punch it in, but Brady Austin right there sure-handed and turning some instant offense off of a big special teams play. So darn proud of Brady Austin. He deserves this moment.
All right, and finally, before Brady makes a break for it, let's let everybody touch that trophy tonight. Yes, Muskego starts the year off with a big win. There we go. We're bouncing.
Yeah, they're bouncing all right. Congratulations to Ryan Lucchese. He's got all the coaching cliches down.
Yeah, he does.
He does, and he's also got his first W as the head coach here at Muskego. 24-7 the final. We come back to wrap things up from Muskego in just a moment. Well, it's time to take a look at tonight's play of the game, brought to you by the AAYFL. Support the All-American Youth Football League, the future of high school football. You can go to aayfl.org for more information. And, Dan, lots of plays, lots of opportunities, but this big block punt was huge. It didn't go in for 6, but you heard Ryan Lucchese talk about how big it was to not only special teams, but the whole team.
Yeah, and he talked to his team about that play early on. He said, and sure enough, it comes to fruition. Special teams is going to make a big dent in this game.
A couple plays later, the offense took it in, and that really was the knockout punch in this battle of heavyweights, as we said from the outset. All right, I want to thank all the great sponsors who bring Primetime Preps to you each and every week. Gruber Law Offices, Marquette University, All-American Youth Football League, Bryant and Stratton College, BSN Sports, Bunzel's Meat Market and Catering, thanks for the sandwiches, Carthage College, Kern Electric, Milwaukee Building and Construction Trades Council, MD Hyperbaric, Steamfitter 601, United States Army, and the United States Coast Guard. Okay, we're done teasing, Dan. Next week, tune in to My 24 or watch it online wherever you may be. Next Friday, 7 p.m., we head to Grafton for a battle of the birds of prey, if you will. The Blackhawks from Grafton take on the Owls from Slinger. It's a non-conference game, but it's going to be a dandy one, Dan.
Yeah, defending state champion from last year and then a few years ago, Slinger. It's going to be you think this is a heavyweight battle, there's another one on the horizon.
That's all we do, heavyweight battles here on My 24. All right, put a lid on this one. Week 1 is in the books here in Muskego. The Warriors over the other Warriors, 24-7. For Dan Brenner and our entire terrific crew here in Muskego, Bob Brainerd saying so long. Once again, the final score, 24-7. Muskego over Waunakee. Week 1 is history. For all the fine folks here that welcomed us to Muskego, and all the fine folks that are showing you the pictures, bringing you the sights and sounds, Bob Brainerd saying so long and good night, Wisconsin.